Peace, everybody, and welcome to the final week of 2025, the 52nd week of the year, and that aligns with the King of Spades card. And if you know anything about the cards, they consider this the most powerful card in the deck. It is also one of the three fixed cards, so that means on any plate that I go to, the King of Spades sits in its natural spot right here. It doesn't move no matter what age spread you're on, it's always in this spot. It is one of the three fixed cards next to the Jack of Hearts and the Eight of Clubs. Those are your three fixed cards. So, just in general, that energy, right, is very powerful. Remember, the king is the top of the line, wearing that crown, that mastery. And when we talk about the spade being the most powerful suit, the suit that engulfs all the other suits, so it does require more work, more energy, more effort, right? But it is a fixed card, so there is this kind of like stuck energy that can also take place. And we all know how this week can be. It's like we're in limbo, we're in transition of Christmas and the new year, and we don't know what day it is. So it can feel a little stuck, a little foggy, but let's dive into the King of Spades spread, its life spread. Let me zoom in a little bit better so we can see it. All right. So if we notice, the King of Spades sits right here in the sun or the crown line, right? And then also this is Saturn. So it has that sun Saturn energy. And it even, think about it. We just had the sun move into Capricorn. We're going to have Venus move into Capricorn. So a lot of Capricorn energy this week. And it makes sense, this being a King of Spades week, right? As we, move from Sagittarius to Capricorn. King of Spades kind of reminds me of very Capricorn energy, that distinction, that leadership, that authority, that power that it just commands, that it naturally has, right? This isn't like, small energy. This is really big, powerful mastery energy. So now, the card that's behind the King of Spades is the Eight of Diamonds. So it is kind of supported in a lot of will, strength, determination, values, financial resources. And again, sitting in the sun, sitting on the crown line, however you want to call it, it definitely can command a lot of attention, especially having that Eight of Diamonds behind it. Now, as you see in the same box that it sits in, it doesn't have like karma cards like, let's say, the Three of Diamonds has, the Eight of Diamonds has, the Ten of Clubs has. Its karma is kind of itself, and it is deeply connected to that Jack of Hearts and this Eight of Clubs. They are kind of considered their karma cards to each other, I guess you could say. Now, their first card is this Three of Hearts. And I'll never forget the first time I heard a King of Spades actually speak. I was expecting like, very intense voice, I guess you could say, but it was more childlike and innocent. And that kind of lines up because, again, their Mercury card is this Three of Hearts. Now, again, it kind of allows that King of Hearts to kind of teeter between commanding and also, that innocent, childlike energy, that compassion. Having a Three of Hearts as a Mercury card can also have a mind that wanders, a mind that is able to kind of perceive a bunch of things and get very creative and very expressive. Now, sometimes that the mind can run away with the three, and that King of Spades has to learn how to kind of rein in that mind. Anywhere that they're actually also being able to express themselves, a lot of passion, a lot of love, a lot of charm that Three of Hearts naturally has. But we notice the Three of Hearts sits Mercury, so it definitely can be a strong communicator. Speak your mind, speak your heart, speak from your heart, with this Three of Hearts being the Mercury card. Now, their Venus card is the Ace of Clubs. So relationships can bring new energy, curiosity, lots of like excitement, even passion, with that Ace of Clubs, because even this sits Mercury, Venus. So they may like to talk their feelings out and express themselves. And this week, as we all maybe be around family or whatever we got going on, we also may be very expressive, wanting to communicate, wanting to reach out, wanting to connect, wanting to ask questions, or maybe we are being asked lots of questions from family as well. But this also makes relationships, they need that excitement, that new, that freshness, that curiosity, that like adventure, even energy, and an adventure in the mind, and that intellectual connection. Can you, speak to me intelligently? Can you, get my curiosity heightened? Is definitely, I think, a love language for that King of Spades. And this makes them a little impulsive when it comes to relationships. They may jump into something really quick with that Ace of Clubs. Now, their Mars card for life is the Queen of Clubs. So they're trusting their intuition, being of service, things anywhere that they can kind of like protect, even because that is a strong mother energy, a nurturer through thoughts, beliefs, communications, ideas. Now, this also can be very challenging to deal with feminine energy at times. So this week, if you're with family, mother, feminine energy can be a little strong willed in this Mars position with the King of Spades. So have patience, slow down while driving too. This Queen of Clubs has like a lead foot. She likes to go. Think about it. She naturally sits Mercury, Mars. So she also can be a little intense and impulsive. And this is the Mars card for the week. But how can we be of service? How can we uplift others? How can we communicate and express ourselves and also want to be of service? That's a big part of the King of Spades path, is to be of service through, information, teaching, education, communications, and their words will hold weight. So again, how we communicate and express ourselves can be intense, can be hostile at times with that Queen of Clubs. She can get frustrated. So kind of watch your patience and how you communicate and express yourself. The Jupiter card for the tennis or the King of Spades is the Ten of Spades, and that is powerful because this is a card of success, determination, and work. Having to work a lot, but that work is rewarded when it's in Jupiter, right? With the Ten of Spades, there can be increase, expansion, accolades, working with groups of people, taking on a commanding role, having your audience, right? And kind of really utilizing this energy. I know we're kind of in that midst of the holidays, but still don't forget about the work. Don't that this obviously also makes the King of Spades not a lazy energy. They know what they have to do. They know, and realizing with it being a 10, a 1 with the 0, the 1 with your higher self, it's like if you want the success, you have to put in the work. You have to be willing to do what it takes. And when you do it, remember, Jupiter's going to expand that. So the rewards, the success, the accolades can be immense, can be an increase. Now, this also can be a lot of pressure to reach a certain point. Don't undermine your success. Really, it's steady work, it's consistency, it's willed, it's determination, it's not giving up, right? And especially with it being in Jupiter, there can be immense opportunity to grow, to expand, to succeed. Their Saturn card is the Five of Clubs. So when there's a 5 in Saturn, it can make where change becomes uncomfortable. And again, it's a fixed card, so they don't want to change. They don't. They want to, stick to their ways. But Saturn is saying, like, be open-minded, be open to different concepts, different beliefs, and yes, also have some patience with travel this week. Whenever there's a 5 in Saturn, there can be some, restlessness, impulsiveness, and we have to kind of slow down because Saturn wants us to be disciplined. Saturn wants us to kind of in God's timing, not your timing, right? So have patience, but also again, be open-minded. Don't be too stuck and too fixed. Be open to different concepts, perspectives, beliefs, ideas, and really, and again, this is a kind of wanderer, a seeker of information, a seeker of knowledge. You never know where it could take you when you really open your mind to different ways, different concepts. Now, their Uranus card is the Three of Diamonds. Remember, their Mercury card was that Three of Hearts. So there is this, like, sometimes even explosive energy where there could be opportunities. They can have a lot of success, again, in business, being able to juggle multiple things at one time. They do have to be mindful of, like, that not trusting that first instinct or looking outside of themselves, realizing that they have everything they need inside of them. I mean, it is the King of Spades. This is the card of mastery, wisdom, experience, leadership, accountability, maturity. But these threes still need that creative outlet. They're still like childlike energy, imagination. And it's really like it's the balance of compassion and creativity, but also leadership, not tyranny, not control, not using fear, but really using that openness that the threes have, like that inviting energy that they naturally have, and being open to different things and different perspectives and different ways, right? That can actually bring more success for the King of Spades and for us all this week, that we are all under this energy. This also makes them great business people, very savvy, again, being able to kind of see things, and opening up. It can bring rewards, it can bring breakthroughs. But again, they have to be mindful of like the worry, the stress, the anxiety that can also come with the threes. It's just that the King of Spades is going to have a lot of energy that needs an outlet. typically one thing that's good is like physical movement, boxing, training, military. You'll see that with this card. So like having that outlet is also going to be very beneficial for the King of Spades if you are one, and all of us under this energy for this week. Now their Neptune card is an ace of spades. Their Venus is an ace and their Neptune is an ace. So again, like, having that commanding sense of self within the relationships. The ace of spades also in Neptune makes them very prophetic, very visionary, and really being able to trust the intuition, trust themselves. They have everything they need. It's a lot of like self mastery. And when you think about like that King of Spades, Queen of Spades, it is very much about taking full accountability, looking at self honestly, and realizing you are the captain of your ship. And the aces that are in the King of Spades spread show that, right? And not getting delusional about that, not being deceived about that, like really tapping into self, like being self-motivated, self-disciplined, realizing again, you are responsible not only for your successes, but the failures. And when you really take an honest look at yourself, you start making those moves, realizing you are in a commanding role of your life. Now, their Pluto card is the Seven of Hearts. A seven in Pluto is not light work. Not that there's, but you know what I mean, because it's that faith or fear. It's not a lot of stable energy, but it's also a heart. It's also unconditional love, spiritual love. And what do we know about the sevens? There can be where we have expectations and conditions and attachments. There can be abandonment issues, wounds that are deep within the psyche of this card that they have to kind of really, stay in the moment, stay in the now, watch the triggers that can show up this week. This is very much about loving self unconditionally, giving love unconditionally, allowing yourself to receive love unconditionally as well, and really opening yourself up to that love. We have, I think Venus is squaring Saturn, or Neptune, I apologize. Neptune and Venus are dancing this week, which makes sense with this Seven of Hearts. We got to see things really clearly. And Venus is going to also move into Capricorn. This is like love, building something solid within love, not delusions, not rose-colored glasses, but like working for something strong, working for something solid, working for something that's going to last as well. So this week, watch your emotions, watch that swing, watch those triggers. Again, we can be around family, we can be alone, we can be dealing with all these, emotional things, and we're clearing out this 9-year as well. So it is very heavy. Let it go. Just love is the most healing thing that there is. So really embrace more of it, but see yourself as the source. Don't allow others to kind of dictate your emotional state. Really, again, with or without them, you have everything you need inside of them. That's what the Seven of Hearts is really teaching the King of Spades, that they have all the love that they need inside of them. And when they really conquer this faith or fear in love or any of these wounds that can come up, the reward is the Seven of Diamonds, the Millionaire's card. So it's, millions of love and millions of resources, right? But again, I've always said millionaires don't have a broke mindset. And if the same thing with that heart, you can't have a lack heart set, I guess, if that's even a thing, but you know where I'm going with this, right? And it's really seeing yourself as the source, because if millionaires had a broke mindset, they'd be broke. But that abundance, that prosperity, that worthiness is an inside job, not an outside job, because people win the lottery. And if they don't have the mindset to keep that money, they'll lose it. Because if you have a lack mindset, a scarcity mindset, a poor mindset, a fearful mindset, same thing. If you have a fearful heart, a lack heart, a woe is me, and a victimized, a victim mentality, you keep playing the victim, right? You keep attracting things to create more victimizing yourself too. So again, having faith in yourself, belief in yourself, that you have everything you need within yourself and you are creating it from that frequency, right? And realizing again, you are the source, you are the plug. Now, the cosmic lesson for the King of Spades is the Five of Spades. So again, it's interesting because their Saturn card and their cosmic lessons are both fives, and the cosmic lesson is like a higher octave of Saturn. So again, being able to pivot, being able to adjust, being able to explore, being able to kind of unfix yourself, be open, be, ready to kind of move when it's necessary, and moving with integrity, moving with wisdom, moving with experience, moving with, power. That's a big thing with that Five of Spades. But also, like, again, not feeling lost, but really opening up to the exploration, the growth, the change, and where change can take you, right? Change is inevitable. It's how we grow, it's how we move. So really embracing that, not resisting it, right? And understanding when that's in a Saturn and a cosmic lesson, it can make us uncomfortable. But sometimes that's what we need to grow, to move, to kind of leave things that don't need to come with us as we get ready to clear out 2025 and embrace 2026. The cosmic moon is the Jack of Hearts. The King of Spades, as big and bad as it can seem, they're really still very emotionally, nurturing, this big love. It's their moon. And that, remember, they have that 3 of Hearts as well, 7 of Hearts in Pluto. So there's a lot of love inside of them, right? And it's really important that they really embrace that energy, right? And open up to it. Jack of Hearts makes them want to be, as to be of service. It is like a childlike energy. So really embracing that innocence, that pure love. And really, again, it's kind of like with the King of Spades and the Jack of Hearts, like that divine, it's like the grown up and the inner child, like realizing they're not separate. And when you really embrace your inner child and the power and the healing that you can have, really, again, it opens your heart to so much. So this week, like really tap into your inner child. It's Christmas, right? Whether you're giving gifts, getting gifts, it's all about the love. It's not even about the gifts, but it brings that excitement. It brings that love out, like especially when you're like gifting to others or even allowing yourself to receive things. And even if not, it's still really opening up your heart to this time of year and what it can bring and how much it can heal as well. And then the transformation card to the King of Spades is the 9 of Clubs. So it is still like always constantly going through a rebirth, a shedding of the skin, a graduation, a release. And this is like the universal teacher, the universal knowledge. And it has so much power. And there's a lot of maturity that also comes, a lot of growth that comes with kings and nines. You see them travel together all the time. And it's because when you have to release, when you have to let something go, there's a lot of maturity again that comes with that. There's a lot of mastery that comes. The nines are the bridges to like that royal energy, the 10s, the king, the jacks, the queens, the kings. So they're constantly going through cycles of mastery, of wisdom, of experience. And again, very powerful energy when you look at the whole spread and all the cards that it has, right? So, as we embrace, and it's even more interesting that 2025 is a 9 year. We are finishing the last week of this year, and the transformation card is a 9. So it's time to leave what doesn't serve you, let go of what doesn't serve you, be grateful for the time you had with the relationships, with the job, with the home, with the people, whatever it was, knowing that now you're making space for something even better to come in its place, something that is even more aligned with where you're going, right? But you set that precedent, right? And remember, the 9s, you have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And yes, with all the cards that it has this week, it can be a little bit of a roller coaster. There can be strong feels, triggers that come up, but sit with it. You're not being punished. You're being asked to like really look at it, forgive it, let it go, release it. You don't want to take that into a new calendar year, right? And again, with this King of Spades, it requires so much authenticity, so much like within, so much strength and power to overcome, and realizing again that you are the captain of your ship. It's you and your higher power, God, the universe, creator, creating your life together. And it really does like empower you to take back your power, like realizing that you are the one, like curating everything. And when you realize that, and that's kind of what these 7s show us, it's from the inside out. So again, really embrace this energy, sit with yourself this week, be proud of yourself for this week, for this year, and all that you've endured, and all the ups and downs, the endings, the beginnings, the having to get back up over and over and over again. It just shows you how strong you are, and that you're resilient, and that you are human, and that's just part of the cycles that we go through. And again, like, we're getting ready to enter a 1 year, so it's really like new beginnings and new opportunities. So let go of the anchor, let go of the dead weight. You don't want to take it with you this year. So happy King of Spades week. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey as I embrace this YouTube and doing videos and really breaking down each week. I missed last week and I apologize. I'm going to get more consistent with this as we enter a new year. I have a new class coming as well that will begin February 1st. Please subscribe to my email list at thefulldeck.net for more information and updates I send out. And again, I hope 2025 was everything you needed it to be. And 2026 is even better than you ever can expect. The best is yet to come. And that's a big part of like that 9 energy. So enjoy this rest of the week. Happy holidays if you celebrate. And I will see you all next time. Peace.